This is Joshua Hart from JTH Boxing. Today I'm here at the Tyson Fury vs Francis Ngannou launch press. I'm here with Fabio Wardley. Fabio, first of all, how are we doing, mate?
I'm good, bud. How are you? How's things?
I'm doing very well. Obviously, I'm just excited to be here, to be honest, for such a big event. Let's talk about yourself first. Obviously, the British champion. And we've not seen you in the ring for a while now. Obviously, we saw you in April. There was talks at the AJ undercard, but we didn't see you there. What is going on with you currently? What's the situation?
I'm fighting on this card. I'll be in Saudi, 28th of October, fighting on this massive event. Me and David Adeleye. So my WBO will be on the line, his WBO, and we'll fight it out and see who comes out on top.
So does this mean there'll be no British title on the line? Obviously, originally this fight got ordered for the British title. Does this mean you're not defending your British title overseas?
The British is still a question. It's still TBC. It's something we're playing around with. It's obviously something we want on the line. We want to do it. But if it's on the line or not, regardless, the fight still happens.
How excited are you to fight overseas? Obviously, you've come from the white collar background. You know, you're not someone with a massive background in boxing. You've come all this far, and now you're on a big box office event, Saudi Arabia. Tyson Fury on the card. You know, when you look at the journey you've had so far, how does it make you feel seeing the position that you're in now?
Yeah, it's a funny one when you list it all out like that. Actually, I try not to bask in my own glory too much of all look at me, but it has been a wild ride from white collar to being here and then a part of a crazy event like this. And I've headlined some big shows, but this definitely tips them. This is definitely the biggest of the lot, and I just can't wait for it. I can't wait for the coming weeks of all the build up, the back and forth, and then on the night is really going to be something special.
Obviously, you and David Adeleye are no strangers. He was turning up to your press conference when you were fighting on the AJ versus Franklin card. Surely that just adds to the tension. So I know there might not necessarily be bad blood, but surely it'll be a little bit tense between you two.
There's going to be a bit of back and forth, definitely, yeah. I think he has some strong opinions of himself, and obviously I'm a very confident character as well. So them two things will mesh pretty well for a press conference, I think. And I think it's going to be an interesting build-up.
And another man you were meant to fight was Fraser Clark. And obviously, I don't want to completely overlook your next fight, but he recently fought just at the weekend. If you've seen his performance, what did you make of Fraser Clark's performance at the weekend?
Honestly, I didn't think it was great. But I don't think it was entirely his own fault. I think it's the caliber of opponent he was in with. I think Dave is just not at that level anymore. As much as he may profess that he is, or wants to say that he can still compete with them top level guys, I don't think he can. But I think also Fraser himself needs to take responsibility and say, look, I need some high level credible opponents, because he just gets stick for whatever fight he has, however he does it, wherever he goes through. And I know he says that he's building and this, that and the other, but ultimately you're an Olympic silver medalist. There's only so much building I think you need to go through before you should start stepping it up. And he's just going to keep getting slated unless he really steps in with some not necessarily big names, but someone that people look at and go, oh, okay, this might be interesting.
The way I saw it is, if he stepped in there with you, win or lose, he was going to get respect. He's gone in there and thrown himself into the mix, whereas he's still maybe not necessarily what he wants to do, but he's just dibble-dabbling at this domestic level. Tyson Fury's just walked in behind us. Fair enough. If that fight was to get thrown at you after David Adeleye with a win for yourself, surely you'd say yes to that, wouldn't you?
I'd say yes if it was easy enough to make. Like I say, I've gone through the fun and games of them lot before, with the mess arounds and you want it, you don't want it, you want it again. So look, if you're simple, if you're honest, if you're genuine and you want the fight, I'm easy to find. There's no problem.
How frustrating was that period for you? Obviously, when you thought you were getting the fight, and at the 11th hour they pulled out. How frustrating was that for you?
Yeah, of course, it's massively frustrating. The biggest thing a fighter wants is activity. We do this. I don't want to just sit at home twiddling my thumbs or just be training for no reason to no end. I want to be in the event, in the occasions, in part of things like this. That's what makes it great. So yeah, it was frustrating, but it was worth the wait considering where I've made it to now.
I want to quickly talk about the main event as the final point. How does Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury play out?
I think it's testy for a few rounds. Don't get me wrong. I think Fury will be respectful of his power, as he has to be, because you know he can whack. But ultimately, I think Fury does his job. He boxes, he moves, he makes it uncomfortable, awkward. He's got such a high boxing IQ that I think it's going to be difficult for Francis, once he slows a bit, to really get a hold of him.
So do you believe he'll stop him, or do you reckon he'll go to points?
I think he'll win on points.
Fabio, pleasure for your time. Best of luck on this card, and I hope you just enjoyed the whole experience.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.